You don't need a miracle. You don't need to be born rich, lucky, or connected. And you definitely don't need another motivational video. To change your life, you need one thing. A single habit. One that most people ignore. One that doesn't look impressive from the outside. One that rewires your mind from the inside out. Quietly, consistently. I didn't find it on social media. I didn't find it in a self-help seminar. I found it by accident, hidden in a dusty old book that had been sitting on my shelf for years. At first, I laughed. It felt outdated. Too simple. But something told me to try it. And 90 days later, I wasn't the same person. I wasn't just more productive. I was calmer, sharper, more grounded, more intentional. And yes, wealthier, not just in my bank account, but in how I experienced life. So in this video, I'll share what that habit is, how it works, why most people quit before it changes them, and what happened to me when I didn't. But before we start, let me say this: if you're over 20 and feel like life isn't where it should be, this video is for you. Part 2. What they don't teach. Let's be clear, I'm not a guru, I didn't go to Harvard, I'm not a millionaire tech founder, but I studied the people who are. And I found something they all have in common. They weren't smarter than everyone else. They weren't luckier either. What they had was a daily mental practice that shaped their future. People like Edison, Carnegie, Ford, they didn't rely on chance. They were intentional. And it all came down to this: a clearly defined purpose, reinforced every single day. Not once a year. Not only when they felt inspired. Every single day. While everyone else is chasing the next hack or shortcut, these people return to the basics. They commit to one habit and repeat it until it becomes identity. Part 3. The real problem. Most people live like they have all the time in the world. They hit snooze, rush into their day, react to everything, scroll through distractions, complain about their job, go to bed, exhausted and unfulfilled. And then they do it again and again. Not because they're lazy, but because they're stuck in reaction mode, pulled around by distractions, suffocated by noise, trapped in routines they never consciously chose. And worst of all, they confuse activity with progress. Busy, but not moving. Exhausted, but not fulfilled. They read a bit of a book. Watch a motivational clip. Promise they'll start Monday. But Monday never comes. And why? Because they're missing 3 things. 1. Clarity. 2. Direction. 3. Discipline to stick with one habit until it rewires who they are. Part 4. The revelation, the hidden habit. What did the most successful people all do, without exception? They practiced one thing daily. They spoke their purpose out loud, with clarity, energy, and conviction. Sounds silly, right? Like something out of a self-help cliche. But it's not. It's the foundation, the reset button, the launch pad. It's what Napoleon Hill called definite chief aim, a clear, personal, emotional reason for everything you do. Most people wake up without knowing what they're building. They don't know what they stand for, they have no why, so they drift. But the ones who create freedom and wealth, they start their day by remembering exactly who they are, what they want, and why it matters. They don't just think about it, they declare it. With emotion, with presence. They visualize their goals, they feel the outcome before it happens. They speak their mission into existence until their subconscious accepts it as reality. Part 5. My 90-day challenge. When I first read about this idea, I almost skipped it, but something in me said, try it, just once. So I wrote down my purpose, how much I wanted to earn, what I'd do with it, who I needed to become to deserve it. Then I read it out loud, twice a day. Every morning, every night, even when I was tired, even when it felt pointless, even when I felt like I was lying to myself. And slowly, it started working. My thoughts shifted. My choices changed. I started cutting out distractions. seeing new opportunities, saying no to things that didn't align, taking action, even when it was uncomfortable. I wasn't just hoping, I was programming my mind for success. And it didn't come from me. It came from those who had already walked the path. Part 6. The wall where most people quit. The first 10 days, easy, exciting even. You feel like the universe is aligning, but then reality kicks in. Motivation fades. Doubt creeps in. Your old habits knock on the door. Your brain starts whispering, "This is dumb. It's not working. You're wasting time." That's the moment most people stop. They let the voice win, and they go back to who they were. I almost did too. But then I remembered what I'd read. Persistence is the secret ingredient that turns desire into gold. So I kept going. Even when it was boring, even when I was tired, even when nothing seemed to change. And eventually, the voice got quieter, and my focus got stronger. Part 7. The inner battle. My biggest enemy wasn't the world. It wasn't my job or the economy. It was me. It was the voice inside telling me I was too late, too ordinary, too unprepared. But those thoughts weren't truth. They were stories I had accepted, out of fear. I'm not ready. Others are ahead of me. What if I fail? They were lies, excuses, comfortable prisons, and the only way I could break free was to speak a new truth. Every day, out loud, until I believed it. Because your mind believes what you repeat. Repeat excuses, your life reflects that. Repeat purpose, with emotion, and your brain adapts, even through chaos, even through doubt, even through resistance. Part 8. The shift when everything clicked. It wasn't dramatic. There were no fireworks, no magical signs, just one ordinary morning where something felt different. I was reading my statement just like every day, but this time I didn't just say it, I felt it. Every word landed deeper. I wasn't trying to believe anymore. I did believe. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was pretending. I felt aligned, solid, certain. It was like meeting a version of myself that had been hiding all along. And from that moment, life started to shift in ways I couldn't explain. That same week, a project I had stalled for months finally got greenlit. A connection I thought I'd lost called out of nowhere with an offer. And most importantly, I stopped hesitating. I started acting like the person I wanted to become, instead of waiting to become them first. Part 9. The compounding effect. Here's what most people miss. Your external life changes after your internal alignment does, not before. And alignment doesn't come from thinking. It comes from repetition, from small daily actions that teach your brain a new identity. It's not a leap, it's a build. Brick by brick, phrase by phrase, decision by decision. At first, the changes are invisible. Then, they become undeniable. I started waking up with clarity. I made faster decisions. I stopped tolerating things that drained me. I began to feel at home inside my own mind. I didn't need more motivation. I had direction. I didn't need validation. I had vision. And because I knew where I was going, the world responded. Part 10. The climax. The new identity. After 90 days, I wasn't just more disciplined. I was different. Yes, I was earning more. Yes, my results had improved. But the real transformation? It was deeper. I was more selective with people, more honest in my conversations, sharper with my time, quieter inside. The daily habit of repeating my purpose had done something powerful. It cleared the noise. It trained my mind to ignore what didn't matter. And that gave me space to focus on what did. My goals? They became non-negotiable. Not because I was forcing myself, but because I had become someone who lived with intention. And that's the secret nobody tells you. You don't change your life by chasing big outcomes. You change it by mastering the small moments, the ones no one sees. Part 11. What nobody tells you about success. The world makes success look loud, flashy, overnight. But real transformation? It's quiet. It's unglamorous. It looks like discipline in the dark. It's choosing to repeat your purpose when you feel nothing. when no one's watching, when doubt screams louder than belief. And if you stay with it long enough, something shifts. Not outside, but within. You stop needing proof, you stop needing permission. You act because it's who you are now, not just what you're trying to become. And when that happens, everything around you begins to rearrange, because the world reflects who you are, not what you wish for. 11. Advanced customization, week 2 and beyond. After 7 to 10 days of doing the ritual consistently, you might feel the urge to deepen it. That's a good sign. The key is not to complicate it, but to personalize it. Here's how. Change the phrase. Your phrase should match what you're working through. Try, I forgive myself. I am building slowly. I don't need to rush. This is my moment. I return to myself. Let it evolve as your internal state changes. Add a sensory cue. Use essential oil like lavender or eucalyptus. Smell is a strong memory trigger. Light a candle. Same scent, same ritual equals stronger association. Play soft ambient music. Nature sounds. Rain, piano, lo-fi. Use the same space every time. Your corner, your floor, your chair. These cues act like mental bookmarks. They teach your body to respond faster. Add movement if needed. Some people prefer to stand up and do a gentle stretch. Do it in sunlight. Do a single yoga pose like mountain pose or child's pose. Physicality can help deepen your attention, especially if your body is restless. Add a one-line journal entry. Right after the ritual, write down just one sentence. Today, I feel, what I noticed was, what I need is. This helps you build emotional awareness without overthinking. Over time, it becomes a quiet log of your internal state. If this video gave you something, a moment of peace, clarity, or even just a breath of stillness, don't keep it to yourself. Try the ritual tomorrow morning. Not perfectly, not for anyone else, just for you. And if it helps, even a little, share this video with one person who might be stuck in their own mental fog. Someone you care about, someone who's overwhelmed, someone who just needs 2 quiet minutes to come back to themselves. And if you've already started the ritual, tell us how it's going. Your story might be the exact message someone else needs to hear today.